Let's not be shy about it. If you put a man rabbit with his
Dingley-doo into a cow cage with a
lady rabbit who hasn't got a winkle, 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 wiggle, then you get
the Crow Show with your host,
an Irishman, an Irishman, an Irishman, an Irishman, an Irishman, an Irishman, and a Scotsman. And I think an Australian as well.
So,
sit back,
relax,
and enjoy.
Yeah, don't drink the silver bullet. It's
I think I'd rather do the real bullet.
You'd rather what?
I said I think I'd rather do the real bullet.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think I could drink a bullet. I mean, I'm sure it'd go down easy, you know. Cause
yeah, I don't know how your body would handle the lead, though.
You just pass it. It would you'd have that metallic taste in your mouth for quite some time, I bet.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm good on that. I don't need no metallic taste. I have crowns already.
You know,
yeah, right.
You might have some unfortunate side effects if the acid, you know, burned away at the powder a little bit.
Yeah, you think? Kaboom!
Yeah, but just imagine if you had gallstones, you might get rid of it pretty quickly.
I don't know, officer. That was a hell of a quick drive-by. I don't know where it came from.
Yeah. I don't know. So, do you guys want to... What are you guys up for tonight?
I'm down for whatever.
Alright, well, we were thinking myths and legends. I mean, I don't really have any at the top of my head at the moment I can think of.
I got a question for Rob.
Are we talking stuff that we believe in, like Sasquatch, or
Anything,
really? I got a question for Rob, since he's from Massachusetts area. What the fuck is a puckwudgie?
A what?
A puckwudgie.
No idea.
A puckwudgie?
Mm-hmm. I'm looking it up right now. It says, said to be human-like creatures and inhabit the swampy region of eastern Massachusetts, especially Barnstable. They are described as tricksters with smooth gray skin and the ability to appear and vanish at will.
Well, you just described Zodiac right here down to a T.
Right.
Yeah, it says they're all over eastern Mass.
Was that a trick question?
No.
I don't have gray skin. It's actually kind of pink. It's summertime and I'm Irish.
I'm looking back at Wisconsin. The abominable snowman has been sighted.
What?
Yeah, I can see that.
The abominable snowman has been sighted in Wisconsin.
Just because I think it's the coolest character in Final Fantasy VI doesn't mean that everybody else believes that it's here.
Well, it says in 1998, two teenagers walking along, and they heard a terrifying scream. When they realized that the creature was in pursuit, they began running as quickly as they could. Apparently, one of the boys' mothers corroborated the report and said she heard a very odd sound, saying it sounded like a train was coming by.
That Yeti train.
You're right?
Wow.
Sounds like a jazz song.
Apparently, somewhere
Yeti
in Wisconsin, they've got Yeti.
I can see that. I've been to Wisconsin. It's fucking cold.
All right, so I'm all about anything paranormal, any kind of urban legends and stuff like that. How, out of each of you, who has played Bloody Mary as a kid?
Everybody.
That's the one game I never bothered to do. I was like, you know what? Why provoke something that could be real? If there's the off chance it is, why provoke it?
Right.
I mean, look at Zodiac. He can't even say Johnny Depp's name in this podcast at all.
I know, right?
You just said that and your mic went all kind of crazy.
Well, I'm somewhat protected by that, so it doesn't bother me.
I actually heard if you say Johnny Depp 3 times into a mirror, The lights will go out and you'll have a douchey scarf around you.
Lights will go out and you'll come out with black eyeliner.
Come on.
You'll have a fake British accent.
Right?
You'll always want to wear scarves for some reason.
Yep. Yep. I know that here in the last couple of years, a lot of you kids have been playing that Charlie game. Similar to a Bloody Mary type thing.
Yeah, my kid mentioned that.
I have
I
no
don't
idea.
remember what it
I've
was.
only heard it.
Something with a
I have
pencil
no
and a
idea
piece
what
of
it's
paper.
supposed to entail.
Yeah, I don't know what that one is. I know
What?
we tried Bloody Mary as kids. Nothing happened, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that because I think even with spells, you know, that witches do and stuff, I'm pretty sure there's some kind of power to it. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it at all. So,
Yeah.
and plus, you know, the Ouija board invokes spirits of the dead, things like that. I mean, if
not just spirits of the dead, other things too.
oh, sure. But I'm just saying, like, you do something like that,
Yeah,
you're
see,
kind of invoking a
puppies.
spirit.
Yeah, that's probably why I never really got into any of that stuff, was because you don't know what you're dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
and there's always a price. That's a price I'm not willing to pay personally.
Yeah. But, you know, I always wondered, like, is Yeti and Wendigo kind of the same thing? Because, I mean, I could
No.
imagine they would look the same.
Yeti's like
no.
a cold weather Sasquatch.
Yeah, Wendigo is actually
And for some reason,
a
he hangs out on the
Navajos
slopes to
call
ski
them
free.
skinwalkers. Okay, I know, part Navajo, but we call them skinwalkers. They transform at night only. They are only at night.
So, is that basically the same thing as a werewolf, then?
Kind of, but werewolf will not stalk its prey constantly. A Wendigo will. A Wendigo will not stop until it's got you.
It's the only thing I know about Wendigo is what I've seen on Supernatural.
Yeah, they seem pretty nasty.
The Wendigo will not stop until it has achieved what it comes to do.
And
Yeah, Supernatural said it's what, like hunters basically who got lost in the wilderness or something.
well, originally it was just an
They
outing,
were,
and then
they
the
were
hunters did
cursed.
go.
They were cursed people. Somebody did some wrong somewhere along the line and got cursed to become this creature forever. And the only way they can die is to kill them with one of their own horns, from what I understood.
Oh, okay.
Well, how are you going to do that while it's ripping out your guts?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
While it's ripping out your guts, you got a saw. You're like, just hold on there a second. Let me cut this horn off here.
I almost got this son of a bitch out. No.
No, that sounds a lot like werewolf, because, I mean, in a lot of werewolf films, it's all about being cursed. You know, you're cursed with the curse of the werewolf.
Anything really, I mean, it's like vampires. Very first vampire.
That's not
according to
actually a
legend.
curse. You're dead.
Well, according to legend, when Cain struck down Abel, God cursed him to roam the earth forever and could not be in sunlight, and it went all over from there. Okay.
I don't remember the part about the sunlight. I don't know where that is, but
now the sunlight, the blood, and all that came later and whatnot. He supposedly sired Vlad, Count Dracula, or whatever the hell his name was.
Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, and it just took off from there as lore. And, you know, but the original was Cain.
You know what?
Supposedly.
I'd have to say that Supernatural Cain and how they did that whole thing up, it was just it's really cool.
Yeah, they did a good job.
You know, because you don't think about
I
it too
like
much.
their
I mean,
spin on a lot of stuff, though.
yeah, I mean, you know, with how they, I mean, the Bible portrays that if anybody was to, I guess, kill Cain or hurt Cain, you know, then they would be punished 7 times 70, like way more than he was even punished. But basically, his punish was the mark, and he was just supposed to wander. So
Forever. For all eternity.
But does that mean he's immortal and he's just still walking around the earth? Is that basically what, you know?
That's what I'm gathering.
So basically he's the first cursed being.
Yeah.
And what, is he like the kind of person that would spawn these other entities? Do you think?
I have no idea. But probably where vampire lore and all these immortal lores came from was him originally, because somebody tried to kill him and he couldn't be killed. Okay, that had to happen somewhere, because the story's got to come from someplace.
Because the thing is, if somebody's cursed like way more than the initial person is, whoever attacks Cain's going to get a fate way worse than what he has. So
Yeah.
what could that actually be? Or is it like going down upon generations, like 7 generations of curses or something like that?
I don't know.
I don't remember, you know, how that was written exactly, but it sounded like it's super terrible.
Yeah.
You know? But at that point in time,
Well, it was a punishment.
As far,
It was supposed to be pretty terrible.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 7th generation, yada yada yada. That goes into the legend of the 7th son of the 7th son, and that has really nothing to do as far as Cain that I know of. That's a whole different animal in itself. Okay, they're the ones that are supposed to have like super abilities, you know, magical powers, yada yada yada.
okay, I don't remember where that's from, but I mean, I found it kind of fascinating with the whole Cain and Abel thing, where he was supposed to be cursed to walk around, but I thought those were the only 2 sons at the time, so who the hell else is there? You know, they're only mentioning Cain and Abel, and then later Seth comes to kind of replace Abe, you know, to be Abel's replacement, but who the hell are they talking about? Other angels walking around on the earth? Animals? The angel, you know, animals sound stupid. I mean,
Well, it
what
wouldn't
else
be
is on the
angels,
earth?
It would have to be demons if they're cursed.
Damn,
Well,
if I know.
I don't know.
I am not a religious man.
Or a fallen angel, or something along that line. I mean, that's what I'm, you know, that's my opinion.
I just found it weird because of how he's cursed to walk around, and if someone were to attack him, but it's like, well, there's only like probably the 2 sisters that they had, and Cain and Abel, there's only just the 3 of them at the moment. I mean, what's,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And it's I don't know. It's just, that's the biblical part of it. And then you have the Greek part of it. Okay. The gods will come down, get frisky with a woman or a man, and spawn kids and demigods. You got all kinds of crap.
Yeah,
going
Zeus
on
was
there.
banging everybody.
Okay, you got monsters galore, you know, 3-headed monsters, hydras. You know, then you got that snake-headed bitch Medusa.
Well, that's,
Okay.
you know, the funny thing is because they actually
Snake-headed
mention
bitch.
that in so many different, you know,
Make
Old
her sound like your
Testaments of,
ex-wife.
of different things. Like the Old Testament mentions, you know, the angels mated with the humans. They made the Niflheim. The Greeks talk about the Greek giants, The Niflheim, the men of renown, were just basically just giants of different kinds. You know, they could do amazing feats because they were tall, muscular, bigger than anybody else. And you got all these other cultures actually talking about that. You know? So, and even different Native
we bring
American
that up all the
tests.
time, though. Like a lot of the origin stories are basically the same. Like a lot of the old tales.
You know, there's other like old
There's a lot
Native
of
American
similarities.
stuff that actually talks about the red-haired giants, and a lot of people think that, you know, some of those burial mounds are
Vikings.
giant burial mounds. But I'm guessing it might have been something like Attack on Titan, in the case that we had to kind of kill the giants off because they were eating people. Because what are giants going to snack on? What do they eat? I mean, I'm sure it has a voracious appetite.
Well, I mean, according to Greek mythology, Zeus imprisoned all the Titans. Why? They were eating gods and people.
Well, then, yeah, that would be pretty bad. But, yeah, I do believe that there were giants. I don't think, you know, like, even if I talk to, like in the past, if I talk to, like, a Catholic priest about the whole Niflheim thing, he's like, oh, that didn't happen. You don't have to worry about,
Well,
you know,
it's in
that
the
part of the
Bible.
Bible. But I'm like, it's in the Bible, though. I mean, what, we just skip
There were
over that part?
giants. David and Goliath. Goliath was a giant.
Yeah, he was a part of the Niflheim breed. So if he was, then he was a part of that. So, I mean, that's what I really think. I think that that strain has survived to some degree throughout, you know, human existence. You mate with somebody that has those genes, you can pass them on.
You know, I know a lot of these stories that we see, like in movies or on TV, you know, Hercules, Achilles, all these, you know, famous Greek, supposedly demigods. All they were really people that just did amazing feats. We still have people like that today, but we don't worship them like they did back then.
No, we don't call them gods, you know, if we're going, you know, call them rock stars. We call them different things.
Wrestlers.
I mean, they're great people now because they're above us. You know, they have more money.
You
They
told me
can,
Hercules wasn't really just some dude like The Rock.
yeah, but just imagine how, you know, how, for
He's
people
like,
of
yeah,
that
Zeus
time.
is my fucking dad. That's all that happened. He was just some big stupid rip dude.
But for people of that time to get that big,
His dad, he had superhuman strength to begin with, because he fucking built like a damn shit brick house.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was just out in the desert lifting rocks and shit. He was big and dumb.
Yeah.
Pick things up, put things down.
And then you have Achilles. Achilles was supposedly unbeatable in battle, only because he did all that training. You train hard enough and long enough, nobody's gonna be able to beat you.
yeah, exactly. It's just like war, you know. Even in the Old Testament, they talk about 3 different heroes of the past that they were in war with, and out of those 3 heroes, one of them killed at least 800 soldiers, another one 1,000, another one 400 or something like that, just by themselves in battle, and survived that many kills. It's like playing Dynasty Warriors and getting like thousands of kills and coming out with no scrape.
It's like going to fucking killing floor and surviving all the levels, you know?
I know. So, I mean, some people are super talented at that. I mean, they could be called a god just because nobody can kill them. You know, they've got all these kills to their names. Everybody's witnessed it. It's like watching a Bruce Lee film or something like that. You just...
It's like calling Bruce Lee the god of Kung Fu. He's not a god. Okay.
But
He
I
was the
mean,
greatest.
some people could
He
look
was
at
the
him like
pretty
that, though.
fucking awesome,
of all time, but still.
I mean, I would say, if people still use the word God as loose, I think what they did is they used God pretty loosely back then. And I think if they still did that now, Bruce Lee would probably be seen as a
Yeah.
warrior
Well,
god,
see,
maybe.
back then, in the old days, they had gods for everything.
Oh, yeah. Artemis.
Yeah, hell, was it Romans? They had like fucking they had their
30
main
different
gods, and then you had like your own personal like house gods.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The Greeks had gods for everything. Goddess of love, the god of war, god for this, goddess for that. You
Yeah,
know,
I think the goddess of
you
love
don't
was
want
just
to anger
just
the gods.
the town slut that got popular. She was good at her job.
Yeah. But as far as werewolves go, I don't know where the beginning of that came
Well,
Pretty scary shit. Somebody just came up with a fucking scary ass story.
from. Right?
yeah. Well, I mean, if we're going to go that path, I think the basic term for nightmare was, I guess,
Frightmare.
having a bad dream and seeing a horse at night, a mare at night. I'm guessing
Is
that's a
that
part of
true?
it. I'm
Well,
thinking
back
that's
in
a
the
part
old
of it
days,
because
speculating.
they have some paintings with succubus or incubus laying on top of a person trying to sleep, and then there's like a picture of a horse's head in the painting too. So it's almost like it's supposed to be like either a play on the picture, play on words, like nightmare at night. I don't know.
Well, back in the old days, they called them night terrors.
Mhm.
Okay. Or sleep terrors, one of the two. And those were used supposedly as foretelling tools. If you had a night terror way back in the day, okay, you were seeing the future of what was going to happen. They took that as like golden law.
I don't know, man. I got some pretty fucked up dreams.
Right.
I don't want any of that shit to happen. Oh, son of it. There have been some good ones.
The good ones are Rob, Ace, and Cross Out.
That ain't no dream that's happening right now as we speak. Gotta get them tailors.
Yeah.
So I just had one. Jesus.
You know, the thing is, I think everybody makes fun of Bigfoot, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I can't say. The thing is, like, for me, like, yeah, if you haven't seen it, it might not be true, but, you know, there's things in the ocean that we're discovering now that we have never even known
Exactly.
before.
I'm sure
I
there could be
have
stuff
my
out in the
own
deep woods that we
belief
haven't
on
seen
that.
still.
The Bigfoot, the Sasquatch issues. I have my own belief of that's possibly real because
Come on, you can do
evolution
it.
probably skipped over that particular. Evolution probably skipped over them. They stayed behind. They're still stuck in the Stone Age, living out in the woods and whatnot. And they're looking at us like, what the fuck is this?
I feel like we'd see a lot more, or at least there'd be more sightings by now because, I mean, we've fucking developed a lot.
I don't know. I think if
There's
was
not
some
that
stuff,
much unexplored woods in the U.S. anymore.
Right?
I think what we probably did was some hunters have killed it off. And
I've watched a documentary on a guy who claims he shot 3 of them.
well, then if he's killing the whole population off, the last 3, there's no more.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the dodo. When the pilgrims came here, they killed it off, and we're never going to see it again.
Good. All the Bigfoots are dead.
Yeah. So
That sounds like
now,
an emo song.
I've been reading. I did some reading a while back on this supposed black cat that runs around the DC area.
A panther?
And when that black cat.
Like a regular kitty cat.
Yeah. But
They're everywhere, man.
no.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure there's more
the
than one.
particular one is a little larger than a house cat, and supposedly has red eyes. And if you see that, it foretells misfortune coming. Like supposedly it was seen before 9/11.
Yeah, like
and
you're about to get scratched by a fucking rabid cat.
I think that's one of the Irish folklore.
No, they have one in DC as well.
In a
You
cage?
can look it up. No, you can look it up. There's a legend of a black cat in DC that if it's seen, it foretells bad fortune.
Oh, I thought you meant he was in the zoo. I was going to
No.
go see him.
Yeah, go see the unfortunate cat.
It's similar to the Irish story, but there's no painting of this cat hanging anywhere in DC. Okay.
I don't know. You don't know that. There could be. I'm sure somebody's done it.
Mhm.
Possibly. But I know the one in Ireland, the painting they have hanging in some hotel out there, if you turn it upside down, it pisses everything up. Paranormal activity goes crazy. I watched a show on that.
You know, that's interesting because my uncle, who's a painter, he always told me, like, you'll know if it's a good painting if you can turn it upside down and still like it.
Huh.
So maybe it's just a really, really shitty painting when you turn it upside down. And then everybody has a bad day.
Well, maybe.
That could be the case.
Which show did I see it? It was on Ghost Adventures. They did it at that hotel out there. They did an investigation. They investigated that legend. And from what I gathered, when they turned the painting upside down, the whole fucking place went crazy.
Is Ghost Adventure still on?
I know it's on Hulu. I don't know about regular TV. I don't watch regular TV.
Yeah, I only watch
I don't do commercials, bro.
Walking Dead, Preacher.
I don't
Uh-huh.
do commercials. I can't stand commercials.
Yeah, I get really antsy now every time I watch Walking Dead with commercials because I haven't seen commercials in. Besides Walking Dead, it's just been years. That's the only show I watch that actually has commercials.
Oh, man.
Just Netflix
Yeah,
or...
right. Like anything on AMC. It's like the only real TV I watch.
You know, it's weird that, you know, American movie classics took on a TV show that's not even a classic.
Right?
I don't know. But still a good... It's probably one of the last cable shows I'm even going to watch. That or Veracity. Those are the only two that I'd watch if I actually got cable again. Which...
I'll
Makes
stick
me
to Netflix and Amazon and Hulu. Between the three, I'm bound to find something I want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, The Tick next month. Like this month on Amazon. I can't wait.
And in December, they got Bright coming out on Netflix.
I know The
Yeah.
Tick's not a myth or a legend, but I'm just excited about it.
Yeah. All right, so
I would say it's pretty legendary.
Yeah,
go with
I remember the cartoon. I like the cartoon.
yeah, I remember that cartoon.
I remember the cartoon and the live action series. They were both good.
Right. All right. So what about the legends of alien activity throughout the eras?
Oh, I totally believe in aliens. I'm fucking terrified of alien
Is
abduction.
aliens a myth, though, or legend? Because I'm not sure. I think that's just
Well,
basically
it
extraterrestrial.
has been said that we were at one point in more advanced civilization because of alien visitations, and then when that population died out, we supposedly started over.
Hmm.
All right.
I mean, because
I haven't heard that.
You look at some of they were examining some of the architecture on some of the, pyramids that were built and whatnot, and it's supposedly far more advanced
Jesus.
than we would have been able to do today.
Oh, I know there's been tons of that stuff throughout history that we found, like fucking, what are the pipes? I forget what the pipes are.
Well,
Like
shit,
this
I know what you're talking
intricate system of pipes, like
Yes.
going all through the hills and shit.
about. Yeah.
And it predates, like, the ability to cast iron. And they're
Exactly.
fucking cast iron pipes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. I'm more on board with the giant thing, that they had giants do their dirty work and lift all this stuff.
I believe in giants more than I believe in aliens. Like legitimate people-eating giants.
I mean, well, I'm
More
seeing
than
some of these alien shows where they're showing, videos of flying saucers, and I'm like, I don't know if that's real or not, but
I
that
think
would
that's
be
just-
kind of.
I
that
think
would
that's Air
freak
Force.
Me the fuck out if I saw one.
I think
You
that's
know.
all Air Force stuff. I mean, if you can send, supposed spacecrafts over to other, areas of the world, and like other fighter crafts couldn't keep up with it or attack it, that thing could just spy on anything anywhere and just get away from it. So, if they made a reverse gravity field for their aircraft, because they already said they're like 10 years ahead all the time. Nobody knows anything until 10 years, behind. So I just think this is all just like United States Air Force, possibly Russia, pulling all this spooky ass shit just to freak people out so that nobody will shoot it down or nobody can attack it or anything, and they can just spy on whoever they want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's all I see it as. I mean, could it be aliens? Maybe, but the fact that if there were aliens, wouldn't they have just tried to full force land by now? I mean, they've already probed enough. They already know enough information that they should have just come and landed by now. We should have seen a real Independence Day happen instead of the movie like The Real Thing. Be like, okay, we know.
See, that's Rob's fear right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's been
No,
since the
invasion,
50s, 60
An
years.
abduction where they just fucking swoop you right out of your fucking car while you're driving or something, like, that's terrifying.
I think you'd have to be a very important person for that to happen, Rob.
Really? Really? Does it ever seem to happen to important people, or does it just seem to happen to fucking regular guys?
See, I think Rob's terrified of getting swooped up and getting experimented on sexually.
Yeah, he doesn't want those probes.
And otherwise.
Well, that ain't happening, so.
Tell me, man, I watched that movie Fire in the Sky when I was like fucking 4, and it it created a real
Or
phobia.
the fourth dimension, I think it's called.
The Fourth Kind.
Yeah, the fourth kind. That's it.
Yep,
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
don't
that
know.
one too.
Like I'd have to see like an invasion occurrence happen, because otherwise it just seems like a strategic way to,
I'm down
drug
with
somebody
invasion. We can
with
fight that shit.
like drug somebody with LSD, put on like a green mask, make them trip out, stick something in their butt, put them back on the ground, and have them go cry alien. I mean, that's all I see it as.
Bro, you got some weird friends.
Wow.
Hey, you're the one telling me all about this. I'm seeing this. What they could do to people would make sense in the fact that they would just do a mass scare. Kind of like H.G. Wells did with this whole, announcement of the War of the Worlds and all that. Everybody was
he
freaking
scared the
out.
shit out of the entire nation on that one.
Some people that didn't tune in time were killing themselves because they didn't get to see, initial broadcast. I think it's just a freak. They'll freak people out, keep people from getting their noses into places they shouldn't get them
I
into.
don't know. I'm still trying to figure out if that alien autopsy is real. If you haven't watched it, I would recommend YouTube and watch it because it's on there.
Okay, well, I guess I could check it out.
Yeah, I haven't watched that.
But either way, the other
creepy,
scenario, is too, maybe an alien did land, and they just decided to go with the whole scare tactic, and the aliens haven't been able to come back because of time frame of being able to get here and to and fro and all that. So, I don't know. I mean, there's the possibility there could be life on other planets,
Yeah.
Intelligent
I don't
life.
see why they'd be too much further advanced than us, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They're really, the universe is only so old, so they can only be so much older than us.
Yeah, but then you got to look at how many galaxies were in that universe. Which ones were created first, because we're not that old, man.
Yeah, I know.
Well, unless it's survival or war, there's no need for us to make faster technology, better technology. So if it's another race and they're way more advanced than us, then they have done more wars than we have, more than likely. So they would be a warrior race.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because almost all of our advancements have come through war.
Well, I'm almost seeing it down maybe about another 150 years down the road. Seeing us start to explore space by ways of, Star Trek fashion. You know what I mean?
How far do you think?
About 150 years.
We'd have to make some kind of either
Maybe, I could see
hologram room or some kind of trippy drug to let you think you're somewhere else while you're sleeping for a long time.
I'm saying in the next century and a half, they're going to start space exploration, Star Trek fashion.
Oh,
I don't know. We're still kind of barely making it there.
Yeah, but in 1965, we supposedly put a man on the moon.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Oh, they have that whole fucking conspiracy theory that it was filmed here on Earth.
Oh, I know. I know what you mean.
I've seen the footage of it, and it looks real, like it was faked. Because if it was... The thing is, they could have faked it initially and then got there later, just so that they could plant their imaginary flag there so that we beat the Russians at something else.
Yeah.
It's like, what was it, Spain and England, they were vying for America. They were racing towards it. I can't remember what other country it was. I think it was England and Spain. They were sailing ships to see what's on the other side of the world, and whoever got there first got to claim it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like that, Big nations are going to try to vie for power, one way or another. Yeah, it would make sense if we just, faked the whole thing just to grab that little imaginary trophy, because, whoever got it anyways, who fucking cares? There's nothing really there. Nobody can really live there.
Here's one legend for you guys that is undisputable. It is a legend. Okay. The Bermuda Triangle.
There's really nothing special about it. I've sailed through it.
Well, if there are, electrical disturbances... Didn't we talk about this, though?
Did your equipment go all wonky and that?
No, it was fine.
Well, maybe it's certain pockets or something.
Maybe. They've had, thousands of boats and planes just boom, gone. Nobody knows where they went, what happened, nothing.
I could tell you what I think about it, though.
All right.
I think that there's probably a geomagnetic field that passes through there up to the sky. And it could probably lift or sink things.
I thought I read something about it being gas pockets or something.
Yeah, it could be that. You know, but
We only sailed through a little corner of it. We didn't go straight through.
probably were to avoid most of it, I bet.
No, we just weren't going that way.
But you know, something's got to, you know, there's got to be connection points between our magnetosphere. You know, the outskirts of the ozone and the ground. Because even in storms, you know, you got electricity finally finds a way to make it to the ground, makes electrical bolt, but what if it's kind of different with a wider area that's, you know, easier for the electrons and all that stuff to go up and down? I don't know. It's like I can kind of imagine it. It's hard to describe what I'm imagining.
Yeah.
But it to me it sounds like if it's something, it could be like a connection point that connects the ground to the top of our, you know, atmosphere.
Could be something to look into. I mean,
Yeah, it could just be bubbles too, but you know, if just bubbles are coming up from what, methane pockets?
Mhm.
I'm not sure how that's gonna sink something. I mean, it would probably pull it down a bit, but then it would pop it back up right away, because, you know.
Yep.
But wouldn't the bubbles
I don't
push it
know.
up still?
I don't know.
I mean, if you had a bunch of bubbles come up underneath your ship, like really, really fast.
I think the theory on it was like exactly like gas pockets come up and it makes the water less dense, which makes the ship go under. I don't know though. I'm not sure if that's really how it works.
I don't see how that could work, though, because
I am
it
not a
wouldn't be
scientist.
water. It'd be individual bubbles. Unless
Right.
it's changing the consistency of the water. But I don't think methane gas coming up from the ocean is going to change the element of the water itself. I think it's just going to come
Right,
up as
and
a
if
bubble.
that's what it was, wouldn't somebody be drilling for it over there? Honestly.
Right.
Probably.
Methane is a form of fuel.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, because what they're describing is it changes the molecular
Molecular.
molecular shape
Testicular.
of test. Thanks, Zodiac. That really confirms everything there.
Just trying to help.
Thanks. Yeah, that helps. But how could you change like an element of water with methane? I mean, if you combine,
It's not changing the element. All it's doing is it's making it less dense because of all the bubbles.
but they
It's
just
screwing with the surface tension and everything.
So you're saying a
For little bit
whirlpool of
bumpy
bubbles?
ride, right?
Yeah, think about it. Kind of hard to float in a whirlpool.
But if it's just coming up and dispersing all over the place, then
Yeah, it is.
oh man, I don't know. I just don't see it. I mean, initially I thought, yeah, but then I'm trying to think about it. The bubbles are gonna be all over the place. It's not just if it's one big ass bubble that comes up underneath the ship and then pops, then the ship would just drop like a rock into the lower, the pocket where that air bubble was. But it's got to be a gigantic ass bubble, not just little bubbles.
Or a
'Cause
whole
they'll
lot
just-
of little ones.
But they disperse all over the place. I mean, they can't like hold something up. Not something that's as big as a ship. like a battleship or something. There was no way.
I don't know, man. Something. I've always been like, kind of, interested in the Bermuda Triangle, trying to figure out whatnot. I just could never come up with anything plausible.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
sure.
not saying
It all
100% is the bubbles, but that I was reading something about that the other day.
it all sounds a
It
bit
was on
fishy
the
to
internet.
me.
It might not be true.
So, off of the Bermuda Triangle, now, I had a debate with somebody the other day, and they're like, "Oh, dragons weren't real." I'm like, "Really? Where the stories come from?"
People who saw dinosaurs.
Possibly.
I think
Okay.
dinosaurs were existing with us.
Somewhere along the line, somebody saw a big ass creature and did the 300 storytelling on it. Oh yeah,
Yep.
it breathed fly, it breathed fire, it flew, and yeah.
I'd say it's very possible.
What I'm thinking they maybe saw was a pterodactyl.
Yeah,
Okay. Which
or something
has
along those lines.
supposedly been seen within the last 2 decades, still flying around.
No.
Yeah.
There's been stories written in papers about it.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, that too, I actually did research that somewhat, Chaos, and that's actually the Thunderbird that the Native Americans would talk about, because they would talk about the Thunderbird only flying in storms, and pterodactyls would fly in storms because of the air currency, or the air current up there.
Yep.
But the pressure being very high. So pterodactyls, you'd see them in, as far as what the scientists or whatever say about the pterodactyls, they needed to have that kind of climate in order to soar very high. And people are seeing these gigantic pterodactyls in storms. Makes sense.
Yep.
But I think with some of these creatures, why we don't see them too much is it's almost like with the raven. You're not going to see the raven very much because the raven avoids humans at all costs most of the time.
Yeah.
And it's always usually deep in the woods. So getting a sighting of a raven is a very rare thing to have. So these other creatures, they probably avoid us like crazy. They can probably smell us or see us better or faster, and they just get the hell out of there.
Let's see.
Because a lot of people say all these,
Well,
dinosaurs.
they're not calling it a pterodactyl now. They're calling it a pterosaur.
A what?
A pterosaur.
Terrorsaur?
Ptero,
Pterosaur.
it's like the first part of the pterodactyl, the first part of the word, and then they just throw like the last half of dinosaur. So pterosaur.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing I'm more afraid of instead of aliens is
Pterosaur sighting in
The dinosaurs being real still.
dinosaurs coming back to life. Like, I do not want to see that.
Well,
That would
I'm
be
reading
fucking-
this. I'm reading this right now. Pterosaur sighting in Edgerton, Wisconsin, 1996. Another one in Mansfield, Ohio, in June of 2016.
See, that's why Wisconsin has so many odd things in it.
Another one in Loganville, Georgia, around mid-June of 2016. Tulsa, Oklahoma, early 1980s. Yeah, so there's 4 right there, 4 sightings within the 20th and 21st century.
Yeah, I think some of these can actually still exist. People talk about the dinosaurs dying off, but I think anything that could fly, anything that could swim or in the ocean, I don't think they got damaged that as badly.
Yeah, I was reading a few months back that a megalodon was spotted over near the coast of Japan.
Megalodon.
Yep. That is the
For a shark?
monster of all sharks. Yep.
Oh, yeah, yep.
I was reading that a couple months back. And I will show you
That's something you don't want to fucking see.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Is
Basically,
that as big as a battleship? Or half the size?
I will.
Pretty
I
fucking
thought those things are huge. I think they're way bigger than a shark. I think they're like almost 2 to 4 times the size of a shark.
Just to give you
Great
an
white.
idea of the massiveness of this megalodon, I took a screenshot of this. They have 6-inch long teeth. Okay.
Wow.
And this is just how big the jaw sets are. This is a full-grown one standing inside. There it is. Popped into the chat. Try and stand a full-grown person inside the jaws of a great white. Now, we're still bigger. We're not as big as that.
Jesus, yeah. That's huge.
And
Yeah,
one
I've
of
seen
those was spotted living over off the coast of Japan. Above that.
Yeah, that's why I said dinosaurs over aliens. They're just way stronger.
Dinosaur's gonna make a comeback, man. Now if that fucking T-Rex comes walking around, I'm
Wait,
gonna
what?
hang it up. Now if the fucking T-Rex comes walking around, I'm gonna hang it up.
They're not really trying to bring back the dinosaurs, are they?
Well, let's just say that the movie Jurassic Park gave people ideas.
Oh, yeah. That every movie since the history of time is going to give people ideas. So,
Yeah, but
I'm sure some dummies out there working on it.
Yep.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're
Still
gonna
gonna be
bring
like
them
the
back.
movie.
They're gonna rule the earth.
You know
again.
what I'm doing.
We're gonna be on the menu once again.
But what sucks is they're not gonna be able to make the actual one. They're gonna have to make a
They're at
hybrid,
50 cal.
which the hybrid's gonna be a lot worse. I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be invisible like the latest Jurassic World movie they had, but it's gonna be probably way more lethal.
Yeah, like the one from Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
That big old hybrid they had looked like a snout of a gator and the body of a T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I only really watched the first one and the one that was like just came out with Chris Pratt.
The first one, second one were okay. The third one sucked. Fourth,
They made a fourth one?
yeah, Jurassic World is the fourth one.
Oh. Well, I guess you could call it a fourth one, but it's technically like a reboot. Because it's Jurassic Park 1, 2, 3, and then Jurassic World.
Yeah.
A million years later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the myths and legends of the dragons probably had to come from dinosaurs. Some dinosaurs not going extinct.
Had to be a
People-
flying one because all the stories tell the dragons that are able to fly.
Well, maybe we killed all that off. Because that became a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and then hence where the term Dragon Slayer comes in.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how we could have killed it off, though, if it was a real thing. I mean, just a spear? I guess that could work, but you'd probably die from the encounter.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the strength of something like that could just...
If
300
you
effect, they
survived
really
it,
weren't that big.
imagine the PTSD after that.
Yeah, you'd be,
You know,
you'd be one and done for life. You'd be like,
right?
we need a Dragon Slayer. I did it. Can you do it again? No, I can't ever look at that thing
No,
again. That's
I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
retired. We will give you your own country. Yeah, you can keep that son of a bitch. I'm done.
Can you really
Yeah.
call someone like Dragon Slayer if they only slayed one dragon though? Like
yeah, technically
That's like-
yes, you can.
that's like, hey, that dude who killed the one dragon. Like I feel like
Well,
you have to
here-
kill. You got to kill like 3 or 4
here's the
dragons
answer
to
to
be a
your
dragon
question,
slayer.
Like, say you're going up against the defending champion right now. You win. Do we not call you the champion if you won?
I suppose.
I guess you'd just be called the slayer of whatever land it was, dragon. You know, wherever you were. You are the slayer
A
of...
dragon slayer of Shitsville, you know. Hey,
Yeah.
whatever works.
Or Zodiac, the Boston Dragon Slayer. You know, then you're just a one and done character, you know?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm down with. Like you get if you only killed one dragon, you know what dragon was.
I mean, but we do have what we call a dragon that's living, and I think it's actually still a dinosaur roaming the earth.
Well,
The Komodo
dragons.
dragon. Yep.
And it's so weird. They can just lick you with their tongue, and it's just so poisonous you'll just
Kill
fall over and
fucking
die.
right there. Yep.
Well, I think you got like 10 or 20 minutes. I think animals don't have that long, though. But the human circulation, I think, can handle a bit more. It is so interesting, because, I mean, just look at that.
Just
They-
long enough to ride out your last world time, stick in a bottle and throw it in the ocean.
Yeah, pretty much, because they won't eat you unless you're dead. But they have the Komodo dragon and a different kind of lizard that's very like it, but on a different island. But those 2 islands, they didn't die off. Almost everywhere else have been killed or died off. So I'm thinking that we literally went out to kill all these kinds of dragons, but we didn't find these islands until much later. And at that point, we're like, we don't really need to live there. We'll just let them live out their lives.
And then you got that crazy ass fucking island that's got some statues that are there.
Oh, the Easter Island statues.
Yeah, that. Yeah. They're
Yeah,
claiming
giants.
That was done by aliens.
Giants.
I don't know about all that.
A big ass giant with a big knife and a hammer. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I think. I mean, if you just solved all your problems with a giant, that would solve all your problems.
Yeah.
You know? They just do all the work for you. That's why they started eating humans. They were pissed off from all the work they had to do. They're like, screw this. I'm eating you. And then, then we killed them. End of story. And we were told never to talk about them
That's how
again.
that happened.
Yes. we used them, they turned on us, and then we killed them and were told never to speak of it ever again.
And same old song and dance over and over. We just don't learn it, you know.
Mhm.
It's like
Makes sense to me.
It's like we used the animals in SeaWorld for entertainment. That orca got pissed off and about killed that trainer. You know.
Yeah, that's a great example. It's like I'm not doing this whole song and dance anymore. Screw you.
Yep.
Screw you, buddy.
What did we do? We put it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
And
don't
it's
talk about
like-
it anymore.
Yeah, and it's like, why are you gonna put the animal down? It's just doing what it comes natural. Okay.
Doing what animals do.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll even tell you a story my friend told me that's actually real, but the way he talked about it, it's almost the same mentality that you're saying. Basically, this couple, they had a baby, but the guy loved to keep this anaconda in the room with the baby. And then one time the anaconda got out, ate the baby, and then he's like, "Man, that's a really terrible snake. If I had a snake like that, I'd kill it." I'm thinking, why would you put a fucking anaconda in a room with a baby? It's not the anaconda's fault that it's gonna eat the baby. It's your dumbass fault for putting an anaconda in a room with a baby.
Right?
What the fuck?
Right.
Yeah, that's
like,
really fucking stupid.
It's like, are you brain dead for
You
being
put
upset
a
with the
baby
anaconda
in
or the
same
parents?
room as an apex predator and expect nothing to happen? Yeah, that's some real fucking brain work right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, but that's what we get to with our mentality. We think we blame the animal when it's really our fault initially. Putting something like that, within our reach.
Yeah, well, with all today's technology, I swear to God, the population inverted as far as fucking common sense and knowledge.
And look at Harambe.
Jesus
Look at
Christ.
that. Harambe is a great example there.
Yeah.
Kid falls in, and they get all, shaky, like, "Oh, we gotta kill it. It's gonna hurt the child more because he's being rough." Of course he's gonna be rough. He's a giant fucking ape.
Right?
And you're
how
letting
they
the
drag-
kids be this close to the giant
That's how
fucking
they
ape.
drag their own offspring around. Okay.
Yeah.
They grab them by the foot and just drag them wherever they want to go. Okay. He wasn't treating that child any different than he would have his own kid. And he got killed for it.
But a gorilla kid's gonna fucking take that shit like a champ.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly.
Well, it seemed to me like that little boy was taking it like a
Taking
champ.
it like a
man.
champ.
As I watched the video, that little kid was like having a fucking ball.
Yeah, you got to play with a fucking monkey.
Yeah, you got to play with a big
Best
ass
day
monkey.
ever.
Right?
Yeah, until I shot it.
Right.
That was the fucking best day ever to lifelong therapy for that kid real quick.
Yeah, it did.
I
Yeah.
wonder what he's gonna be when he grows up. Is he gonna be a zookeeper or a hunter or a
Probably be
What?
one of the fucking head members of PETA, man. Sorry, Peter, no offense.
All right, before we get towards wrap up time, anybody have any other myths or legends that you've been itching to talk about? Because now we're on to fucking monkeys.
Well, I was going to talk about that the bear man, or he was doing the documentaries with the bear and he eventually got eaten.
Mad Bear Pig?
Not Mad Bear Pig.
Mad Bear what?
No, this guy was doing documentaries with bears,
It's
like how the other
real.
woman was living with apes, or the chimpanzees, and he kept trying to get closer and closer to become a part of the bear group, and then he pissed off one of the bears, and it just mauled him to death and ate
What
some.
kind of bear?
Christ, that's good. Bears aren't social creatures.
The
No,
brown,
they're not.
the
No, like
brown,
a
brown
the
bear?
grizzly bear.
Oh, dude, if it was a
Jesus.
grizzly, he was fucked to begin with. Okay.
Was he called Grizzly Man?
All I'm picturing is this.
Anti-social bears ever.
I'm just picturing this dude creeping up on a group of grizzlies with a fucking picnic basket.
Right?
He thinks he's watched too many Yogi Bear episodes.
He fucking walked in with that picnic basket. Hey, boo boo.
Oh, boo, boo, boo. Yeah, there's some predators that just can never be our friends. Doesn't matter how many teddy bears you held as a kid. There's some
Well,
just
I
can't-
mean, a bear can be your friend if you've raised it from a cub. Any animal can be your friend if you raised it from infancy.
But he's
With
going
the
into a
exception
group
of
a group of grown bears trying
that were
to.
wild to begin with.
Mhm.
Had to be wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was just. How many brain cells did he lose from drinking and smoking?
Well, he lost a lot when it was eaten out of him.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I want to feel sorry for people
what
like
made him
this,
think
but
that was a good idea?
Okay.
I mean, you want to become
bear-
somebody that's going to live with predator animals and hope that you survive. Good luck, but
Yeah, good luck
if something
on that.
happens, it's
Well,
on
a bear
you.
Swipe, a bear swipe,
Right.
you know, a bear takes a swipe at you. He's exerting at least 1,500 pounds of pressure per square inch.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna rip your ass apart, especially with them 9-inch claws.
Yeah, it's like you want to go live with a pack of hippopotamuses. I'm not going to feel sorry if you end up dying.
He'd have had a better chance trying to become a pack member in a pack of wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at Romulus and Remus. There's the story right there. That's why he was so famous. Probably lived with some wolves. Got used to it.
Yep.
That's another myth and legend right
I'm
there.
gonna have to look this shit up about the bear guy. 'Cause now I want to know.
I think he was called Grizzly Man or Bear Man. I don't remember what he was called, but
Man, bear, pig.
it was.
Dude was
Everybody was
trying-
really sad when he died, but I'm like, what the hell were you thinking? You don't
Right?
go
He
live
was
with.
trying to fucking be Grizzly Adams in real life, and that's not gonna.
Yeah. Christ.
Yeah, you
it's
can
not
check this
Gentle
out.
Ben, dude.
Right?
Gentle Bear. I always thought it was Gentle Bear.
That's like these fucknuts who stick their heads inside the jaws of an alligator. Okay, and then expect that sumbitch to not close.
I can't watch that, or even lions. If people like do, the lion tamer, he's like, "Look at me, look at me." What if the lion had to sneeze and the mouth just
No, what if
boom?
the lion just said, you know what? Fuck this. Clink. Okay, your dinner, dude. I mean, just like what happened with Siegfried and Roy on stage with their tigers.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
their tigers went ape shit. Fucked up one of the dudes real bad. I think they killed him, didn't they?
No, he survived.
Oh, okay. But
He was just all fucked up.
he just got ripped to shreds. You know,
Well, they gotta show
It
their
just-
dominance.
they get these animals that
Maybe just leave the wild animals in the wild.
right.
Mm-hmm.
We stop playing
We do-
around with
We
like,
domesticated dogs and cats.
if
That's
we
good.
stop playing around with nature like that, I think we'd be a lot better off.
Probably. But let's say we actually did find Bigfoot, and we tried to socialize him. Do you think he'd go apeshit and kill a bunch of people like Hulk?
Probably.
Or would he actually
Harry
start
and
to
Henderson.
learn something? Well,
Probably.
that was a good show. But I don't know.
That was a good show, but that was fantasy. But I think that in the real life that he would lose his fucking mind with all the technology. It
Yeah.
would freak him out. Okay. And don't give that motherfucker a Slim Jim.
A slingshot.
Slim Jim.
Oh, a Slim Jim. I love those commercials.
I mean, no, seriously. All the technology would freak him out. Because he's still more animalistic than human. He's probably got, the super hearing like a dog does. Probably got a higher sense of smell. Stuff like that. And he would just lose his fucking mind.
Well, yeah, he's
Well,
essentially a big monkey.
yeah. Oh, man.
All right, I
what
think
else?
we're winding down.
You guys think different kinds of... Well, I don't know. I got nothing else right now.
Tapped.
I'm out. I'm tapped.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. We're right
guess-
around an hour. That's a good time to call it. We'll try and come up with something more lively next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Let's find a
maybe next
fucking
week
shitty
we'll-
movie on Redbox or on Netflix, and let's all watch and review it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, That or we could just talk about beer next week.
I did watch that new.
Ooh, we could do a beer episode. I could do beer.
I did watch the new King Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
So way off of fucking Arthurian lore that
No, it had all the points in there, man.
No, it didn't.
All the different legends. It had a lot of different legends in it.
Yeah, it did to a point, but as far as the way they went about it, just kind of pissed me off. I didn't like the way it was done.
Well, I liked it, so.
Bleh. I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it, so you can't go blah. You're not allowed to. You didn't see it.
We'll pick a movie. I'll
my cup
see
of
what
tea.
I can do to get it.
Go to the Red Box and get the Belko experiment.
The what?
The
I
Belko
saw that.
experiment.
I wasn't crazy into it. I just kind of knew
watch it.
everybody was gonna die at the end.
So I watch pretty much anything John McGinley's in.
Oh, from
Yeah, with the crazy eyes.
Scrubs?
Yeah, the Scrubs.
Yeah. No, he was good.
All right, well, we'll do something better next week. I don't know. We won't half-heartedly
we
decide
didn't.
on something right before the show. Well, thanks for sticking with us. On the Twitters, Adam the Zodiac. That's where you'll find all the show news. Healed up, so I should be back to doing Six-Pack Saturdays on my YouTube. On
About
Saturday
damn
nights.
time.
I know, right? I'm at like 80%.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's it for me. I got nothing else to plug. Oh, the Facebook, if you want to like us on Facebook. I post stuff there too.
Okay. So, Chaos, if you want to say your spiel, then I'll finish mine up.
I only get on every so often and hit up on Twitch at the Crow Clan, all one word. Catch us gaming there every night.
All right. So, yep, you're watching this on YouTube on my channel, VeracityTrigger. And so, generally do these on Thursdays, and I try to post them on Friday. If not, I get it out on Saturday. But, yep, well, you'll see us here once a week. So, all right. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching all the way through. Definitely like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will catch you later.
Later, guys.
Good night.